guys went to Hawaii when?
We left January 8th.
And what, just to go on a family vacation?
Well, what happened was last year, Alex wanted for Make-A-Wish to go to Hawaii, and we went, and it poured rain the whole time to the point where everything was flooded. We tried going to a luau, and that completely flooded out. So when we got the bad news of no other options, no more treatments, we were told to meet with hospice. So he said, I want to go back to Hawaii. So a few days later, we were back on a plane and went to Hawaii.
When did you hear that there were no options, no more treatments?
We heard that right after Christmas. We had tried to get him in a clinical trial, but his labs were too poor to get in. There's just nothing. There was nothing out there. We've looked in other countries. It's unbelievable that there's nothing that can be done for a child.
Had it just progressed to that point?
He had been on different chemos, and no matter what, the tumor is progressing. It just won't stop.
Did you have any indication that was coming? I mean, I'm sure as a mom, you're holding out hope, until the very, very end.
It's hard because I think his dad and I are both RNs, and having that background, seeing certain symptoms and seeing things that are signs of progression, we know as a mom, you pray to God that this isn't happening, this can't be. He's going to be the one. But then, again, the RN side of us knows the statistics, and so it's, of course, I have hope. I'm praying for a miracle. And I think the reality of that really set in when we got home from Hawaii and met with the hospice palliative care team and had to talk about the decisions that nobody should really talk about, let alone a 12-year-old, as in where do you want to be at the end.
Tell me a little bit about that day. I know that was brutal for you.
We got home from Hawaii at 1 a.m. and about noon, the hospice doctor and his oncologist came, and all the equipment came, the hospital bed came, things that'll help him with his care. It just was all kind of thrown at us at once, and we needed it, but it was a hard reality. And asking your 12-year-old where they want to be when they pass away is something nobody should ever have to do.
It's unnatural.
It's not fair. It's not right. It shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be.
How did Alex handle all that?
He gets extremely quiet. He doesn't want to talk about it, but sometimes it comes up. When we were in Hawaii, he kind of randomly brought up that it was very important that he be a donor. His life goal was to be a surgeon. When he was 9, he would read an anatomy and physiology book because he was going to help people. And he said that it's so important for him to be a donor and to be able to help people because he's not going to be able to as a doctor now. He also said, out of the blue, he wanted to be cremated. And when his cat passes away, he wants his cat's ashes mixed with his. And it was the first time that I ever realized that he sees maybe an end before his cat. And it was the most heartbreaking thing I've ever heard.
I can't even imagine this kid. He's, here he is having such a hard time, and he's just so amazing.
I don't know how he does it. I feel like I'm in this little bubble of complete denial, and when I talk about him, I feel like I'm separating because this can't be happening to my son. Not my boy, not Alex. He's such a great kid and he has so much going for him. This can't be him. It has to be somebody else. And I can't go there. If I do, I can't function.
Well, and I think too, I can't imagine how, the road leading up to this point, because there's that devastation of finding out he was, diagnosed with this, and then he gets better, and then it gets worse, and then he gets better, and so it's just this roller coaster of emotions, and I mean that can really rock a family, and I know you guys have been there. You have been up and down through this whole time.
We have. It's only been 18 months since he was diagnosed, and he had 4 brain surgeries, and they said, we've got almost all of it. There was just a tiny bit left, and radiation, should get the rest. And for like 11 months, we had scans that were good, and we honestly thought, wow, maybe he's going to beat it, because the average lifespan is 2 years for these types of tumors. And I thought, maybe he'll be the one. There's always got to be an exception, and those stats are based on previous people, not him. But at the 1 year mark, we got an MRI showing a lighting up area right where that little bit was left had grown. And then we started all these different chemos and nothing. It just kept progressing.
How has he been this week? Is it still up and down, or is he steady, stable?
He's not. The hardest thing was when we left for Hawaii, he was able to walk to the airplane and go get on his seat just like a regular kid. He was happy, dancing, all excited. By the time we got home, he needed 100% help getting into a little wheelchair and we had to brace his head up and to get him off the airplane. It happened that fast. He spent his first day in Hawaii laying on the beach. He spent his last uncomfortable on the hotel bed.
And that's, for that trip to Hawaii for the family, I'm sure that's not how you wanted to end it.
It wasn't. We didn't want to come home. In fact, we stayed for quite a while because I extended our trip, maxed out our credit cards. I can always pay back credit cards, but I can't always go back and have this time with him. And we didn't want to come home because we knew the reality of coming home was the decisions that had to be made about home care and hospice. And
was it almost, if we stay here in Hawaii, maybe this is our ticket for him to get better kind of hope?
Yeah, we felt like if we're here, we're away from that. And sure enough, we get home and have to sit down and make those decisions.
How's the rest of the family? I know you guys are so close and so tight-knit. Does Lily understand at all what's going on?
So Lily is 3.5, and Alex was her favorite playmate, best friend. And so many times she goes up to him and says, when you get better, I want to play again. When you get better, I want to play chase. And the other day she was holding his left hand, which is completely down, and she's like, Alex, what's wrong with your arm? And he's like, well, I'm sick. And she said, well, when you get better, then you can hug me again. And he gave her a hug, tried with his other arm, and it was sweet. She doesn't get it. She's 3. She just wants her brother back. She wants her playmate back.
Talk to me a little bit about the animal shelter donating this room to him. I haven't seen it, but just the idea of it is so heartwarming and so touching. Because everybody knows Alex is a huge fan of cats.
Yeah.
And so this is amazing that they're doing this.
It's today. We haven't seen it yet. So when Alex was in preschool, kindergarten, he went door to door selling wristbands for the animal shelter, and that's when it started. So he's always been a huge cat fanatic. he loves to go pet the cats, and even, just a month ago, he was in there just holding them and giving them love, and we always did the dog washes, and he would get in there and scrub them, and it was always big for him because his goal was to, become a surgeon, and what he wanted to do was, when he makes all that big money from being a surgeon, he wanted to open a cat sanctuary, and he had very, planned out goal for his life. And so the fact that an animal shelter is going to acknowledge him, and this room will always be the Alex Shepherd room, and it'll have a plaque. And the organization Rockaway Kids Cancer also made the plaque, and they've contributed to it. So
he's kind of getting his animal sanctuary a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. It's beautiful. It's very bittersweet, but it's beautiful.
And the community. I mean, I think we hear so much, even just on social media, just about the support for you guys. So the community is just, loves you as a family and is behind you 100%. I know that's gotta make you feel good.
It does. It's amazing. It really shows us this side of humanity that nobody ever sees unless they're in this situation. But if we could all see it without having to go through this, it could be a perfect world. Right. It'd be amazing. And when we were in Hawaii, we went to Hilo, which just a little shaved ice shop in Hilo. And a lady recognized Alex and wanted a picture with him, and then gave us free shaved ice. Things like that happened constantly. We went to dinner, a lady recognized Alex. This is in Waikiki Beach, and our dinner was paid for. It's amazing.
That is amazing.
So not just this community, but so many others, and we feel so loved, so supported, and I couldn't do this without all the love and support. Couldn't.
I know. It seems like when you're on Ellen, you're like jet propelled into, being super famous. So I know. So has he been recognized anywhere else?
Oh my gosh.
Probably.
Yeah. So many places. It's really sweet. I mean, just everywhere we've gone, somebody recognized him. We've gotten a lot of free dinners.
That's nice.
It's really nice.
Have you guys heard from Ellen Show?
We hear from the producers and Ellen about every couple weeks. Mm-hmm. Before Christmas, when he was doing really bad, the producer called because they all wanted an update. And I told her, the bad news, that he wasn't doing well. And 2 hours later, there was a knock on the door, and a huge bouquet of flowers and chocolate cupcakes from the show. And then the next day, a huge package of wonderful gifts from them. So, and we've been talking to the producers a lot about getting him back down there, but it's going to depend on his health. So they're, weekly almost. They're checking in, calling or emailing and getting updates. They've been amazing. I can't believe that they care this much. It's really amazing.
That is amazing. That's the stuff a lot of us don't even hear about too.
No, nobody would know that. Right. Yeah.
When you sort of did get that bad news about Alex, and you guys decided to go to Hawaii, was it really important for you to make sure at that point in his health that anything and everything he wanted, you would try to make that come true for him? Yeah. And wow, that's a hard question to answer because I can't. I want to. He loves the group Owl City. That he's found a lot of inspiration from the songs, and we were able to get the singer to record a song dedicated to Alex and write him the most beautiful letter that we got through email in Hawaii. But I think it's that drive of a mother's love that my kid is suffering, and so whatever they want, they're gonna get.
Yeah. I want him to be happy, and I want everything that he's ever wanted to come true. And I know that's impossible, but we're trying. He wanted to go to Hawaii. Well, we've got credit cards. We're going to go to Hawaii, so we did.
And this is an incredibly tough question. Have you thought about it all, how to say goodbye?
No.
Just don't want to go there.
I can't go there. I can't say goodbye. No. I don't want to. I don't even want to think that. I know it's inevitable, but I can't go there.
And I think that's probably just that attitude. I'm sure is what he needs right now from you.
Yeah, of course. He needs the hope. He still has it, and that's the most important thing, to not take that away from him.
I'm sorry, I just had to ask. I know that's brutal, but
It's okay.
anything else?
I don't think so. We had a blast in Hawaii.
I was going to ask you,
Yeah.
that was one of my questions. What other stuff did you guys do? Because the weather was beautiful, right?
Oh my gosh, it was averaged about 80 degrees each day. So Lily spent a ton, I know. Lily spent every day on the beach in the water, and
That's awesome.
it was beautiful. Alex, we got to be with dolphins. So Alex got to kind of swim with a dolphin with help. He got to do parasailing. Finally did a luau.
Awesome.
So yeah, it was really sweet. It was nice. It was beautiful.
And it's interesting too that that'll always kind of be for you, for your family, your spot. That place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
It's my obnoxious phone. Anything else at this point?
I don't think so.
I asked one of my editors just to steal a few pictures off of the Facebook page, because there are some awesome pictures of him on there in his hat.
The sunset and the hats. Yeah, oh my gosh.
Cute.
And I actually have a dolphin picture on my phone if you want me to send it to you.
Yeah, I would love it.
It's really cute.